Welcome, travelling friends of Australia. We are Vellam and Annika, and we hope you enjoy this episode of our podcast,
where we have a chat to other travellers and give them the opportunity to tell their stories and share the tips that they've learned along the way. Welcome, guys. So for tonight's episode, we have Steve and Allison from Lifestyle Downunder. They are another couple who has started their business online and it's going really well, and we're excited to hear about their news. They're traveling already, they're traveling a lot already, but they're going to maybe go full-time next year sometime. So let's hear about their story. Hey, Steve and Allison, how are you?
Hey, guys.
We're good. What's going on, guys?
We're good.
We're good as well.
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys on our podcast. We obviously know you guys personally from the business and stuff, but it'd be awesome to hear more about your traveling and your plans that you've got going. We want to get you guys to kick us off with just who Steve and Allison,
The families,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm obviously Steve. I am 35 years old now. I used to work in the trade industry. I have my whole life since I was 15 years old, and it's only been recently that we've made a bit of a change to everything, and we've moved online, which has been awesome. And I'll let you say your little spiel.
So I'm Alison. I've been a stay-at-home mum since the youngest started school. Got a kick at the bum and went to uni and did nursing. I've been a nurse now for 4 years, and went back to uni again, silly me, and done my dream, and I'm now a midwife, and I actually start a postgraduate maternity next month, which is fantastic. Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, it was the last piece of the puzzle for us.
Yeah.
With obviously plans to move on to full-time travel, and Alison's going to be planning on doing a little bit of agency work. It was really big tick in the box to have experience in both fields. So
we've got 3 kids. Our eldest is 18, Lily. She lives in Brisbane, and we've got Kai, who's nearly 15, and Sahara, who's 10.
Yeah, and that's us.
Family of 5.
Family of 5, but only four in here now. That was a really big adjustment for us when we moved. When did we move? It was a while ago now. End of March we moved from Brisbane back up to Hervey Bay. Just worked out that Alison's parents were traveling around Australia as well, and they had no one to look after their house, and I said, well, I'll look after your house.
Hervey Bay is beautiful. What we've seen on is obviously, it looks...
Yeah, no, we lived here on and off for a long time. We built our first house here, so we're pretty familiar with the area, and my parents are here as well, and Alison's sister and that. So we've got family here, which is good. And our daughter was 17 at the time, and she had a great job. She had a long-term boyfriend and really didn't want to come back up here. And so she ended up moving in with her boyfriend and her parents and his parents, or his family, not her parents. Then we left her behind, which was a bit weird.
She ended up messaging us about a week later and said, I took you guys for granted. I'm so sorry. I don't like adulting. Can I come back?
She's had a few meltdowns where she's like, I don't want to be an adult anymore.
No, it sucks.
Welcome to the big world.
Yeah, but anyway, we're just the 4 of us up here now, and when we do hit the road full time, we'll just be the 4 of us, which is going to be interesting. So that's a bit about us.
Yeah, so obviously you want to go full-time traveling, but how long has traveling really been part of you guys?
Well, I know for me, I grew up camping from as far back as I can remember. So
me too.
I grew up here. Well, I didn't grow up here in Hervey Bay. I grew up on the Gold Coast, but my dad's always lived here, and I used to come up here every school holidays, and we used to go to Fraser Island. That was that was our annual trip, or 3 times a year. We'd always go over there for Easter and school holidays, and then Christmas time we'd go over for a couple of weeks. So I haven't really known anything different. Like my whole childhood was camping whenever I wasn't at school, and then I guess once I got a little bit older, I probably had a few years off. We didn't really have a full drive or anything. I got into the car thing as most young boys do.
Yeah, I remember travelling to Inskip when Louis was about 6 months old, and we only had a Holden Barina.
Yeah, and I got involved in the sand. So that was time to maybe look at getting a full drive. So yeah, we actually bought our first full drive.
It was like us on the weekend.
Yeah, yeah, I did see that actually.
We've had a 4-wheel drive in the past,
yeah.
and then obviously I became a mummy, so then we got a mummy car.
And we lived in a different place. We were traveling further distances.
Yeah, but I got the TIG one instead of your
ute.
Yeah. And then when we were, we moved remotely, and we
3 hours away from the city.
Yeah, so we had to come in a lot. I don't know why. I wanted an Amarok, but then was kind of like, let's go with a multivan. Like that's even bigger and it's nice and comfy.
Well,
and
the
all
plan
this stuff.
was we were going to stay there for longer than
we were going to stay there
year.
for 5 years. That was our plan. Yeah. It didn't work out that way because I found the online opportunity, and Willem got moved here with his job, so we didn't have to go that remote to obviously get the income, and we bought the multivan. But on the weekend,
well, not just the weekend.
Like
before we went to Kalbarri, and same thing.
We were just like, no, we
need a 4-wheel drive.
So we're looking at getting either an Amarok or a 76 series, but there's a big price difference.
There is a big price difference there. We just once I got my full drive, that was it. And because we got our first full drive, we lived in Cairns. Like it was just like the gateway to like all the best full driving in Australia, pretty much. So I was hooked from the second I got it. And then Allison grew up camping as well, so like it's probably why we're a pretty good match when it comes to that. But
he always likes to take more than what I do though. So
yeah, I'm used to camping with like camping in style, where Allison's sort of minimalist camping, which is normally the other way around. But yeah, she's actually probably more prepared to rough it than I am. So yeah.
No, that's awesome. So what do you guys actually have as a setup right now?
So right now we have a 2016 Pajero Sport, which again I've had previous to that. I've always been a patrol or large, either a Land Cruiser or a patrol. We've had a couple of both, and we had a little bit of a break from the 4-wheel drive there for a little bit, and then it was just killing me, so I need to get another one. And but it was Allison's turn to have the next new car, so she got to pick that, and she didn't want a big ass 4-wheel drive, so we got that, and it's been a good little car. Like I've obviously done a little bit of work to it, and just the usual, a little bit of lift and tyres and roof rack and a rear drawer setup and battery setup and that sort of stuff. But we're pretty basic at the moment. Like we paired it right back. We used to have a camper trailer, then we had a pop top, and then we went back to a tent, which was a little bit of a step backwards. But I also really enjoyed it because it was back to sort of basic camping, which was good. So our current setup now, we just have a couple of swags, and recently just got a rooftop tent, which we've tried out a few times now, which has been awesome. But not for much longer. The tent and the swags. Well, the swags will be coming with us actually, but
we ordered our caravan about a month ago, so
yay!
Nice.
Get it till about August next year.
Yeah, July, August next year we should have it. So
we'll have it. Pay as much as what we can off between now and then. Yeah,
but so super excited, but then that meant I needed to get a new car because we've obviously gone a big ass caravan, being the fact that we're going to be living in it. So it's too heavy for the Pajero Sport. So we're upgrading. We're going back to a patrol. So a brand new patrol, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Oh, you're going to have a sweet setup then, like all brand new caravan, brand new car.
Yeah, I can't
Exciting.
wait. It's been a dream of ours for a long time, like to buy a caravan and travel. And
We've always thought, how do people do it?
yeah,
How?
like for so long, like I looked at all these families and I'm just like, how the hell are they doing it? You know what I mean? Like I've worked for 19 years, like slugging away like most people do, and I was just like, we're years away, like or tens of years away. We're definitely not gonna be able to do it with our kids. Like we're gonna maybe be able to do it when we're 50 or something. I was like, that I don't like the sound of that. So yeah, we went on a bit of a hunt. It's sort of what started me stumbling in the online space, because I started reaching out to a heap of traveling families on Instagram and Facebook and just sort of put the hard word on them pretty much. Just like, how are you guys doing this? You know what I mean? Like I obviously knew, some people save up, for a long period of time and then
Sell the
just
house
sort of take 12 months off. And we spoke about doing that. And I didn't really want to be on a time limit because I don't, personally, in my opinion, I don't think 12 months is enough time to really take it all in. And we didn't really have a house to sell because we had to sell our house when we moved to Brisbane. So that wasn't really an option. And I didn't really want to wait 10 years to save up to go. So I was like, I've got to find another way. So yeah, I spoke to a few and then I started sort of getting the same response, like, oh, we're making money online through, lots of different ways. I mean, people were doing it through sponsorship, people were doing it through affiliate marketing, they were doing it through like YouTube, you know what I mean? There was lots of different ways, but they all had a common theme. They were making money remotely so that they could earn while they're on the road. That way they didn't have to come back. And I was like, well, that sounds like us. If we could make money while we're traveling, then I don't have to come back until we're done traveling.
We may find somewhere in our travels anyway that we really
we really want to buy some land, like a lot of land. So like away from everyone, and we like
we want to go off grid.
We want to go off grid. That's a real big passion of ours, like completely off grid, make our own power, capture our own water, grow our own veggies, look after our own animals, but we wanted to travel before we did that, and we didn't really know where we wanted to do that. So I was like, well, we could just keep an eye out while we're traveling, and if we find somewhere nice, then we'll put a bookmark in there, or we might even just buy something while we're traveling. I don't know. We're just living. We made a choice a while ago now just to stop planning. Like I was a really big planner. Like I'd make a plan to make a plan. You know what I mean? Like, and I'd have to know. I've got OCD pretty bad, so so I like to know like 20 steps in front. And yeah, when I started this online business, it was just this little side hustle at the start. I was working full time. Allison was working, and I think I just realised that I need to stop trying to plan out so far advanced. Like it's good to have plans, and we've still got sort of long-term flexible plans, but
we're being spontaneous.
But now we're just like, you know what? Let's just do it. Like, we only live once. Our kids are growing up, and I think a really big contributing factor was leaving our daughter behind and realizing, well, that's one gone. You know what I mean? Like only two more to go, and our son's already going to be 15 this year, so he ain't got too many more years to go either. So it's like, well, now or never. So let's do it. And we just stumbled across some amazing people and just went all in pretty much. And it's starting to pay off, which is awesome. So Allison's still working, but she's going to work right up till when we leave. Mainly because she loves her job. I didn't.
Well, it sounds like you guys have great plans.
It's still plans, it's still plans. It's just a bit more spontaneous and
it's good to have goals and work towards something. Yeah. But what do the kids think about all this? You've obviously informed them what's going to happen in the next couple of years?
So
they kind of disappointed us a bit when we ordered the caravan. They come home from school and like, oh, I've got exciting news. We've ordered a caravan. Like, All right. We're
like we were so excited, and then we told them, and they're like, oh yeah, like we just went and got some milk or something.
No.
They got a bit excited when we went down the other weekend to pick all the colours and stuff.
Yeah, so we just recently went down and sort of finalised the colour schemes and all that sort of stuff, which was awesome. And look, they love camping too. For a while there, we didn't do a lot of it because we were too busy bloody working. But since I've got a little bit more freedom back now that I'm no longer working on the tools at all, I concentrate 100% on my online business. And Allison sort of works in sort of stints, and she might get 3 or 4 or 5 days off. And now, because I don't have to get leave, we're starting to go away a little bit more regularly, which is awesome. I think probably Kai, our oldest, or our son, he's 15. Like, I think he's a little bit apprehensive about it. Just the friend thing, which I get. But in saying that, I really think, like, after interacting with a lot of traveling families, like, there's a lot more out there than you think. I know a lot more than I thought, you know what I mean? When I started first looking, and then we started doing a few trips, and you see, like, so many kids out on the road and living full time, and it's like, well, pretty much, like, I think they're going to still get that interaction, and they're going to learn a valuable skill, which is, you know, to be able to make friends quickly and really adapt, you know.
They're completely different kids when we're camping anyway. Like, at home, they're on the iPad or the Xbox or the laptop, and when we're camping, they're just out.
Yeah, we can vouch for that one as well.
Yeah. Kids,
so I think that's a big thing that we're hoping that comes out of this, is we get a little bit of a better relationship with our kids, because we all spend too much time sometimes on our devices, and then me even more so now with working online. It's a hard balance, but we're looking forward to it. The only thing that I'm still a little bit iffy about is homeschooling. I'm only just starting to dive into that, and that's a scary proposition. But
you didn't do too well when there was no school in Queensland here for a bit with COVID. So I was coming home from work, if I was doing a day shift, and checking to make sure that they had done all their schoolwork. Or if I was doing an afternoon shift, I'd sit in the morning until 12 and, you know, do their schoolwork. He's like, I can't do it.
I'll teach you how to fish.
Yeah. Even life skills are much more important.
Yeah, teach them how to survive.
It's
just trying to pick now what homeschooling company to go with, because
there's so many. Like, and that's probably my next mission, is to really start networking with some other families that have been doing this a while. Like, we're only obviously just diving into this, and that's why I think what you guys are doing with this is amazing, because there's so many families out there wanting to live this way, but it's really daunting, and there's a lot of moving parts to it, you know what I mean? It's not like working a job where it's you just go to work, come home, and go to your house, and like, everything's really structured, where when you're living on the road, like, well, we're only assuming still, like, we haven't really done anything longer than, 2 months?
2 weeks.
But when our longest trip's probably 2 months, and even that was only once. Cape York, we took about 8 weeks, but that's a completely different thing. So we don't really know what to expect, to be honest. We're just winging it, mate.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think when you're in your home and you have a work and you're set in stone, you know where everything is, you know you're going to wake up tomorrow, where you're going to go, you're going to go to work, you're going to come back.
But I think that's what we're trying to get away from.
Yeah.
Everyone that's traveling full time and traveling.
And that's comfortable. Yeah. You know exactly what's going to happen. Whereas if you're living on the road, it's a bit more up in the air, you know, anything can happen, and which is exciting.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna, like, I know after speaking with a few people now that are doing this, like, there seems to be a general consensus that you're either a planner, where you plan out and you're like, 3 days here, 2 days here, 3 days here to do it, or you're just like, oh, we'll see where we end up tomorrow.
I think those people are probably the ones that have got like a time frame, like we need to be, you know, back in our jobs or whatever in 6 to 12 months. But I think with you, you know, and what we are working towards as well is when we go, there's not going to be we're packing up.
It'll be a combination of the two.
It'll be.
You want to spend some time in certain places.
Yeah, but sometimes you're not going to know, you know, like you might rock up somewhere and you love it, and other places someone will tell you that was awesome, and then you get there and you don't really like it. So like you just don't know. So yeah, that's the exciting part about it is we don't need to, like, the only times I've been sort of given the heads up is to book, like, is in obviously the peak times if you want to stay in caravan parks, but we will be trying to do most of our camping in free camping. That's what we really like to do. Why we spend a little bit more on the caravan than probably some other families, because I wanted a van that was set up for free camping, which cost a little bit more money in this up front, but I think in the long run,
it's worth it.
It's going to be a little bit cheaper because I don't have to stay at caravan parks all the time. So yeah, but again, I mean, we're only guessing. Like, we don't know.
Yeah. Talking about destinations and sort of people sharing their stories, what is your places that you want to go and see? Is there any specific places?
I'm itching to get over to you guys, to be honest. WA or North WA is probably my most appealing place for me to go, and I think I could really stay there for like months and months and months.
You'll be fishing.
Yeah.
Going the fishing.
Like, I'm excited about everywhere, but if someone asks me the most exciting place, I think all of that top of WA. Like, I was lucky enough, I did 6 years in the Navy, and so I got to sort of have a good look around North Australia, because I used to be on patrol boats based out of Cairns, and we spent a lot of time in Darwin and across the top of WA and Broome and stuff like that. We used to pull in and get fuel and all that sort of stuff. So I've seen some of that stuff up there, and King Sound and Yampi Sound and King George River, and man, that Kimberley's area in North WA is just beautiful.
Yeah.
And I've worked in the Pilbara as well, so I got to have a bit of a look around Karajini National Park. So I'm itching to get in there and actually not be like on a little day trip.
Yeah.
But and Vic High Country is a big one for me as well. I've only ever done it for a couple of nights in someone else's four-wheel drive. So I'm itching to. Victoria is nice as well. We liked it down there. We lived down there for
when you were in the Navy.
When I was in the Navy, I lived down there for about 12 to 18 months or something like that. So
I think I'm looking forward to Tasmania.
Yeah, Tassie too.
Yeah, I really want to go down to Tassie. Yeah.
We've done a fair bit in Queensland. We've been to Cape York, we've been to Fraser, we've been to Moreton, we've been to like all the hot spots. But there's a lot of outback Queensland that I'm really looking forward to as well, which we haven't really explored. So, man, I'm just looking forward to the whole trip, mate. To be honest.
Australia's so big. There's a lot to do, isn't there?
Australia's just,
and it's beautiful amazing. Everywhere you go, no matter.
Yeah. No,
that's awesome.
Tell us a bit about any advice that you want to give. Like, we obviously know now that we want to do this sort of lifestyle, and we're working towards getting on the road and, you know, going to explore Australia. But there's other people out there that think it's very daunting and stuff. Do you have any advice for them to either get started or to just, you know, anything?
I do, and I know I watched your episode last week, I think it was, and they said the same thing, as just get out there and do it. But it's so true. Like, I think work towards, like, I don't know, like getting clear on what you want. Like, and this type of lifestyle isn't for everyone, but if you know you want to do it, like, yeah, what are you waiting for? Like, I wish so bad that I didn't listen to everyone else around me. So my biggest piece of advice right here, red hot tip, is do not listen to people telling you that you can't do it or that you shouldn't do it.
Now telling us that
We've still got people telling us that we're making the wrong decision pulling our kids out of school.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I can't wait to get them out of that system. But that's a whole nother topic, which I'm not going to go into. But we've had parents tell us, you know, oh, you shouldn't do that. Wait till, you know, the kids are gone and you guys do it and all that's like. So many
get people like your grandfather who, you know, he didn't start traveling until he was in his late 60s, and
now he's buggered. Like,
and
he
he's
got to do a lot.
He's really supportive. He's saying, "Do it."
And he's like, do
Go
it.
now.
You know, they're the people you want to listen to, you know what I mean? Because
They've got regrets.
Yeah, well, it takes, like, my parents are in South Australia at the moment, but they met some people at a place they were staying just north of Alice Springs, and he'd been diagnosed with prostate cancer and she'd been diagnosed with breast cancer, and they're like, well, let's do it while we can. It's like, why wait? Just go and do it now.
Yeah, and that was...
Don't wait until something like that to happen to go, okay, well...
Yeah, and everyone's heard that story, whether it be in your family member or a cousin or an uncle or maybe just a friend of a friend, but everyone would have heard of someone finally getting to that retirement age, and then one of the partners getting sick and then passing away, or just not being capable of being able to do that travel, you know, and that scares the shit out of me. Like, I see my grandfather now, and he thoroughly loves traveling, and he just physically can't put the caravan on and off the car anymore, you know, and I'm just like, so he has to stop. Like, he doesn't have a choice, and it's just like,
that's sad.
It is, you know, because he's got that inside, like they still want to go, but their bodies are letting them down, and like, and unfortunately, like, that's going to happen to everyone eventually. Like, so, like, yeah.
I really think it's just trying to explore your options of what suits you. So if you can't take, you know, so much time off work because you can't afford it, you can look for, there's plenty of work around Australia. You can look for work around Australia and, you know, go to one spot and work there for a few weeks and then travel to the next spot. And
and that was our plan. That was our plan
ways.
before we come across this online business. That was our plan.
Yeah.
I've got 2 trades under my belt. Allison's nurse. So in my heads, we were like, well, I should be able to get work. She should be able to get work. But we were still left with that big, we've still got a massive outlay of money to buy a caravan and a car. So that was our big hurdle. That was what where we struggled. We're like, we've got the skills, we've got the ability to get work on the road, but we haven't got the income to buy the caravan and the car. And we didn't, like I said, we didn't have a house to sell to sort of trade the house for the caravan sort of thing. So I knew I had to find a way to increase the amount of money I could earn, because, you know, you can budget all you want, but at the end of the day, the only real way to accelerate that process is to bring more in. And I worked away. I worked in fly in, fly out. We did that for a lot of years. That's how we got our house originally, and I didn't want to do that, so that was not an option. And again, that, like, there was a few things why I went looking for an online opportunity, and the biggest thing was I wanted to be able to earn while we were traveling, and also a way in the lead up to increase our income streams to give us the spare cash to then buy the caravan and the car. So, and that's sort of how it's playing out. Like, we're still not there yet. Like, the van's ordered, and we're planning on getting the car in March, February, March, around there, which gives me about 6 months to get the car kitted out and ready to go, and electric brakes and suspension and all that sort of stuff ready for the caravan. And then when we get the caravan in July, August, we are planning on doing some small trips, and probably September we're going to do a 6-week stint outback Queensland, to give the van a good shakedown, give the car a good shakedown, give us a good shakedown as far as what we need to pack, what we don't need to pack, all that good stuff. Which I've watched heaps of YouTube videos on families doing this, and I'm like, and look, we're going to be shooting our own YouTube sort of video as well, like, because I think the more of that out there, the better, because I know from someone researching and looking into it, you know, there was a lot of people vlogging and covering their trips once they left, but there wasn't a lot of stuff in the lead up, like, how did you get there? You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to do, and we just did our first episode the other day, which was us going to pick the colours for our van. And as as things start happening a little bit more and we get the van and we get the car, and I'm going to sort of document that whole process for anyone else that wants to do it, you know, or maybe just looking for info. So, you know, that's pretty exciting. I'm not a video editor, so I'm learning that as I go. But
Kai's thinking about doing something with
yeah,
visual technology. So Steven said he may even like hire him to edit his videos while we're on the road. So
that'd be handy. Have my own little YouTube editor. But yeah. But our youngest daughter, she just loves just being out and about and vlogging. Like she's like a little vlogging queen.
Oh, right, the caravan.
It's second nature to them.
Oh man, she's just had my GoPro and she's just like walking around, giving everyone a tour, and I'm just like
each caravan that was in the yard.
I said, she's going to be a natural. So
like, this may be my caravan when I get older.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that I'm glad I come into this online world is it's changed the way I parent as a in regards to technology and the internet, like because I was old school, like I was parented and my parents were parented, right? And you know, I said it. It was only about 6 months before I started on my online business. I asked my son what he wanted to do, you know, when he finished school, and he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, he's like, I don't think I want to go to year 10. I'll go to senior school. And I'm like, that's okay. Well, go and get a job, you know, like go and get a trade. And I was doing what my dad did to me and pushing them into, or you got uni or you got.
That's the only options, like, yeah.
Yeah, and I was doing that. And then when I come into this world of learning from online entrepreneurs and motivational speakers and all these people that I got exposed to, because I was so like narrow-minded when it comes to that stuff.
I think it's when you realise it's just their way of life now.
And he's like, I want to be a YouTuber. I'm like, YouTuber, like you got to get a real job, you know what I mean? And now, like, I see what is possible.
Let me help you.
Yeah, I'm like, YouTube, get in there. Like, so like, it's a crazy transition that I've made, and it really has affected the way that I parent my kids. And at the end of the day, if every generation continues to parent like the last generation, like how are we ever going to progress? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm itching to teach them and you know, some true life skills, explore the country. A big thing, a big bee in my bonnet. I know I wasn't going to talk about the education system, but I just want to say one thing that really annoys me about the education system is we don't teach our kids about our own history much. Like we teach them the basic stuff like Anzac Day and stuff like that, but
the real
history of our own country, like, but they learn about the history of other countries, and I'm like, which is cool, but I really think that we should focus on teaching our kids about our own country and origins and stories and where it all come from, and like. And I love, I'm a pretty big boffin of like World War II, like Rex and like war stuff. So I'm really looking forward to researching stuff as we go and finding new places to go and see. And then I can teach that to my kids because, you know, apart from, you know, the big world wars and Anzac Day, like I don't think they really learn about that stuff, all the small little things, and how even myself, like I learn stuff when I read books, when I'm researching, when we went to Morton Island, like finding out how much history's there on Morton Island and Fraser Island and Cape York and, you know, all these places that were a pivotal part of our history and that we just don't know about it. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Like, hope to see that in your YouTube channel so we can actually learn ourselves, because we're from South Africa. We don't know all of that stuff.
I know that where we used to stay in Meridian, there was a World War fighter pilot that crashed, and they found the plane but never found the pilot. So there's a good mystery for you to come and solve if you really want to.
Yeah, there is so many places like that around Australia. Like
we always like looking at or exploring that type of stuff.
Yeah, when we went to Cape York, like there's a lot of stuff out there, old abandoned airfields and aircraft and aircraft towers and all sorts of stuff and some of it's still like fully intact. Like you can walk through it and just imagine what it was like. And I love that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. And that's the type of thing I don't think you would get to enjoy if you're on a time limit. Like, it's like, all right, look up, go to the information center, the 5 top things to do, boom, you do that, then you're on to the next town, and you don't really see all the little things. So, I think we're really going to just slow down. And I've spoken to a few now, and they said that's probably the hardest part when you start traveling. Is you're so used to when you go on a holiday, like you're in a rush, like get there, set up, and do all that, and then go and explore. And we don't have to, and that's going to be a big adjustment to just slow down, not be in a rush, and then be like, oh, well, we might stay 3 more days here and just chill, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like, I cannot wait, to just travel and just enjoy. I'm still going to be working though, which is going to be like a balance in itself. Like, I've seen from other people within the community that are traveling and working online. It's not a holiday, like it's a lifestyle change. And that's probably going to be a bit tricky for me, because I know when I go camping, all I want to do is drink and have fun, where I won't be able to do that every single day, otherwise I'll end up the size of a house. So, but it's just going to be a learning curve. And I think, it's just going to, we'll just play it as it comes.
Yeah. So what I hear from everything that you basically said, the advice you give is just do it. But there is multiple ways to do it, to make an income
That's right,
along the way. And that's all right. I remembered. There's multiple ways to do it. I mean, and multiple ways to live. You mean there's tents, there's caravans, there's motorhomes, there's so many different ways to live away from the normal lifestyle, and so many different ways of making money to make yourself live that way. You mean the one method we have is one out of millions or thousands of ways for people to make money while they travel.
Yeah, look, it just like, to be honest, I was surprised, because I thought I would have had to try a few different things before I found that thing that I liked. And that is the most important thing. Like, you have to enjoy. I just spent 19 years doing the same thing, and I fell out of love with what I did on a daily basis. Don't get me wrong, I loved it, and I'm grateful that I've got them skills and all the things that I accomplished in my career. I got to where I wanted to be. Like, I was building $250,000 four-wheel drives, like Chop 200 series, custom canopies. Like, that was my passion, because I loved four-wheel driving, and I finally got to build those types of caliber of vehicles, which was amazing. But when I got there, that was sort of it. Like, I felt like I'd completed that portion of my life, and it was time to start something new. So, but I was just lucky that I jagged a really good opportunity and a really amazing team, and straight out of the gate, and
that's the thing. If you have the passion for this type of lifestyle, if you really want to do this type of thing, you will find a way. There are so many ways you will find it.
Yeah, and it's really a necessity in our eyes. We had to have an income that was location free. Like, it was paramount. That was the thing that was everything pivoted around that. If we wanted to travel, open-ended.
You're not stuck in one place, like having to do a job on that for a few months. And the working your way around. Like, there's nothing wrong with any of the ways. Like, whatever works for you. But for us personally, when I seen what was achievable online, when I finally took the blinders off and took it in, like, I was like, all right, well,
and that's a scary space to move into, isn't it?
It is scary but in saying that, if I didn't do it, I'd still be where I was 13 months ago. Like, I've been doing this for 13 months now, and I'm so grateful that I took that chance, because if I didn't, there's no way we would be where we are now, and there's no way we'd be talking about, we wouldn't even be talking to you, because exactly. So there you go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, so many people worry about, like they dwell on decisions that they make. When we're both very passionate about everything happens for a reason, and just don't dwell on decisions. Like if you make a bad decision, move on, like, because something you could have made a decision that could have changed the whole trajectory of your life, and you could have been hit by a bus or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, just do what you want to do and just go in that direction, and whatever happens. That's how I'm viewing life now. Because I spent a long time worrying. I was a worrier, planner. I'm like, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? What if people
don't dwell on what ifs?
Just get out there and explore this amazing country.
Awesome. So the last question is, well, it's not a question. We just wanted you to let our listeners know where they can find you at the moment on your socials.
Yeah, check out your journeys.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we're on Facebook. So Lifestyle Down Under, Steve X Allison. And we're also on Instagram, which is Lifestyle Down Under Steve, I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't let me go to Allison. It wouldn't let me have the numbers or the letters. And we're also on YouTube, Lifestyle Down Under as well. So, yeah.
Awesome.
That's us.
Awesome.
We look forward to your journey, guys. It really looks like it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't wait. I can't wait to share it. Like, that's the biggest thing, that overwhelming response of people that love to follow people, and I guess I want to inspire as many other families to just live the way they want to live, and not live in the constraints of what everyone thinks.
Sort of like us. That's why we started this podcast. You know, it's not only about just growing and then showing people on how they can do it. It's to build a community, because I find that the traveling community is so close knit, and the people that we never knew that before we started pursuing this lifestyle, you know, and the people that don't know it think it's a big daunting thing, but it's not.
And they're going to be by themselves.
It's so much closer than we thought it was, you know. So
and everyone's got a different perspective in life. Like they want to live, you know, because I just don't think living is what we're doing in a 9 to 5 and doing a structure every day. And
I say every day.
You know,
surviving. We're surviving. That's all you're doing. We're done doing that. Done surviving. Start living. That's awesome.
No, it's awesome to have had you guys on.